Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Guile here, and welcome back to another Supreme Commander epic. It finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like crying. Somebody somewhere had a game that went over an hour long, and it was half decent, and they decided to send it in to me. Well, they didn't actually. They put it on the replay forum thread, which I pulled it off there. But it must be good, because it had 19 downloads at the time at which I found it. Hopefully none of the other casters out there have already picked it up and shown it. Well, yesterday I looked and Brink hadn't, so I apologise if someone else has done it as well, but these come around so rarely I have to do it. Also, apologies for no cast last week. It was a special time for us. We have this tradition in the UK, you might have it as well. It's called norovirus. It's basically once a year, autumn, winter, everyone in your household has to spend 48 hours throwing up. Which was cool, but we got through that. It takes a little bit longer as well when you've got kids in the house. Festivities take longer, but that was good. So we had that. We're through it now. We can return to SOPCOM Gold, and that gold is going to take place on Canis 4v4 Special or Special Edition. So the players are ready, you guys are ready, and I'm sure as hell ready. Let's go on over to the game zone and see what the hell went down. So Canis, baby. Goodness me, it's been a long time since we did one of these. It's like an old friend you bump into in the street, and it's really awkward at first, but eventually the conversation starts flowing and you go for a drink, and before you know it, you're impersonating old movies that you used to watch together. Anyway, let's get on with the game. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top and this Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1, right up here at the top left in Hallyborange Orange, it's Alabaster, and he is going UEF, very sensible, opening first land. To his right in Ferrari Red, no relation to the club, it's Heaven, and he is going Seraphim, opening first land. Team member number 3 for Team 1 in Baby Pink, it's Cirky86. Or Surky as we... Oh, sorry, no, it's Suri. Suri K86, so it's going to be Suri. And he is going Cybrin, bless him, opening first land, going second air. And last but not least, up front, we've got Thanks for Time. But that is actually not his real name. You will know him better as my good friend Chosen in his very customary Cyanide Scion, going Aeon there, opening first land, going second there next to the Hydro. So that's Team 1. Let's take a look at Team 2. Down here at the bottom right, we have the Cool Gamer, and he's going Pontiff White, mirroring his opponent there in UEF, opening first land. Team member number 2 to his left, some kind of strange symbol thing. I guess that's meant to be a face. I'm not going to be referring to him as DB. I looked him up in the username utilities, and he's the artist formerly known as Sandwich. So I'm going to be referring to him as Sandwich. Mental note, guys, if you want to change your name, don't change it to a symbol, because if I cast you, I have nowhere to go with that, so I have to call him Sandwich. Anyway, he's going Aeon in Electric Blue, going first land, second air. To his left, is he still in the base? Yes, he is. It's Cabal, and he is going Cybrin, bless him, opening first and second land. And last but not least, already strutting his stuff towards the middle there, it's Myson. He's going UEF in Vivacious Violet. He opened first land and has now gone second land way out to the north. So there we go. Initial units out. Looks like we've got a couple of harassing units making their way north there from Cabal. Mole and a lab there. The Hunter is going to have its very own dedicated vision unit. That radar is going to help him hunt down those elusive engineers. One making its way across the river now from Heaven. Could come a cropper. There is a reinforcing ACU in the area from Alabaster, but it's going to be too little too late as that Hunter scopes out that engineer. Terribly, terribly sad. He'd finally got a girlfriend as well. Down he goes, and that lab then starts working on that mechs. No mass extractor there for you across the river just yet, Heaven. Bless you. We've also got an Aurora from Sandwich there with a Spirit, more dedicated intel. Nice to see, but look at this. Already up front, Myson with strikers and a Snoop in the main base, just picking off engineers going about their reclaiming business in the early game. The Snoop gets taken down there by a Mantis from Suri. Should I be calling him Suri or Surik? Right, Suri. Seems the way to go with that, but that Mantis not going to lock on to that Striker. I did say the quality play was high in this. It does get better, I promise. But there goes another engineer, and Suri's just hemorrhaging Engies now, just strolling them on past that Striker, letting it pick up as many kills. In fact, it's got 5 kills to its name now, that tank. Down it finally goes, but definitely worth its weight in kills. Alabaster making his way out to the ridge on the far west, and astonishingly that Hunter and that mole belonging to Cabal we saw in the early game still alive in the beginning of this one, still making a nuisance of itself. Locks in on another engineer coming across the river there from Alabaster. A reclaim order sent out. No, in fact that looked like a capture order, but not the best play there. That won't keep him alive. That's another kill for Team 2. All the harassment seems to be with them right now. We've got a Jester out in the centre of the field from Suri. No attack orders dispatched for him as yet. More units making their way north from Cabal, but this time they're running headlong into Heaven's ACU. I thought for a moment that Mantis was going to get away, but one final blast from that Seraphim cannon puts a stop to all that. That Hunter, though, still causing mischief way back here. 5 kills to his name as well. So good early harassment at the beginning of this one from Team 2. They're spreading up to the midpoint nicely. Chosen has come down, getting an upgrade on his comm there just to the west of his hydro, which he's got a couple of land factories stationed there. Also going to get an upgrade going down for Myson. Completed that earlier factory. Started another one over here with the engineer. Going to probably assist with the other ones coming in and that AC once that completes. There we go, and that looks to be gun he's got there. So a little bit of extra firepower there up front for Team 2. Sandwich, meanwhile, getting ballsy. Has his land factory in place. Pretty consistent with the meta there, and is now threatening that forward mechs, which Chosen is trying to snag. Won't manage it with that engineer. Lots of other build capacity in the area, of course. And quite a few Auroras on the ground as well, but it's too early for Sandwich to feel threatened with his ACU. What have we got down here? Well, Chosen's going to throw down a T2 PD, so that was the T2 engineering suite he's got on that comm. That'll stall any progress from Team 2 up to that point. Myson now making his way into the center of the map with his ACU, looking to breach across the river and cause some problems. But no sooner do I say that, he says to his allies he has to leave. That's a massively deflating message to get when it's on your team. So kills a couple of units and then drops back. Of course, Team 1 not going to be aware of that. That was all in allied chat. I'm presuming he's going to give his stuff over to someone else. We'll keep an eye on that in just a moment. But a nice little T1 run by now from Suri. Mantis breaching through, threatening the forward positions there of Sandwich. A few Auroras backing up, trying to use that range advantage they have against the Mantis. Still 5 of them online there for Suri. Not packing the damage required to really threaten that land factory. T1 bomber coming in now for Sandwich. He attempts to defend against that little Mantis push. That bomber gets taken down by a few inties brought in by Heaven, but they're going to get countered by the inties in the area for Sandwich. And indeed, Myson's stuff was transferred over to Sandwich. He's going to stick it out there in the river. Remember, of course, assuming full share isn't on, and as always, I sincerely hope it isn't, game-breakingly awful though that option is, and assuming that ACU is going to be the first to die in this one, judging by its position, all of this stuff will go pop regardless of who it's been transferred over to. But we'll see. Perhaps full share is on. Another push up front from Suri. That's going to stop short of wiping out that position belonging to Sandwich, though. Meanwhile, conflict brewing in the far west. Cabal and Alabaster, both with their ACUs in the vicinity, and an awful lot of T1, especially for Cabal, who's got the stealth upgrade on his comm. In fact, that would be stealth and T2 he's got on there, being as he's just started construction. T2 PD, there we go, stealth and the T2 engineering suite. So T2 PD in play. Cool Gamer saying in allied chat, why you no say that you'd have to go. Not at all happy about losing a member of their team so early. Certainly a gift to Team 1 with all of that resourcing being thrown immediately into the pockets of one player. Attention will now have to be split on multiple fronts. He's going to be handling more than likely the air for Team 2, as well as now their frontline defense, which is quite a task. But merging of armies over here in the west. Alabaster's got a few units of PD in play, couple of triads and a T1 PD plasma cannon there, and they're doing a pretty good job of whittling down this Mantis push from Cabal as it tries to push up the side of the map. Still quite a few of them away, but a nice overcharge into the pack would deal with that in one fell swoop. He's not going to need it. Plenty of T1 units in play there, but another little push, this time from Cabal's ACU. Remember, of course, that stealth gen on board keeps him well incognito, of course, until he strays into vision range. Straight up to that T1 PD that gets overcharged. That Hydro, good target of opportunity, and that's actually in range of that Cerberus turret, which starts opening up on it, so that's going to go down. Meanwhile, a little push T1-wise from Chosen, coming straight down the center, splitting Cabal's and Sandwich's forward position. Another little push over in the east now from Surrey, so T1 capitalizing heavily here at the end of the 10-minute mark on the exit of Meissen. Must presumably have noticed the forward structures by now, no longer under his control, and thus likely to have dipped out of the game. You never know, of course, if it's a temporary thing or whether they're likely to come back when it's on the other team. T2 on the field now for Cabal. Rhino strolling past Chosen forward units there as a couple of them start to make their way into Team 2's base. The Cool Game is going to pull his ACU back from the ridge. That's quite a nice setup he's got there in the east. Lots of T1 and T2 PD. T2 engineers on the scene as well, can continue to reinforce that position. A breach, though, down the center from Surrey, and a couple of Sparkies giving as good as they get there, but still not enough. Too many Mantis in play. Upgrade completed there for Sandwich. Take a look at what that is. Aeon reading the situation not great there. Well, we've got the basic RAS on board, and that seems to be what it was. So extra resources for our Aeon player on Team 2 there. A few units in the area as well from Chosen. A couple of T1 Auroras. Going to get dealt with fairly swiftly by the ACU, but not before picking up another couple of engineer kills. And now we've got T2 Air on the scene there from Sandwich. Spectre on the scene, T2 gunship rolling in and allowing the ACU to make short work of that T1 group there. Aurora's push on for Chosen. Meanwhile, they're not going to get too far. Air deals with that nice and comfortably. Notice as well, guys, Minimap Warriors. Minimap is in full effect. Most of you seem pretty happy about that, so I've decided to leave it on for the foreseeable future. Of course, on maps that have the geometry mapped out, the terrain on it. It's just hideous when it's on a black screen. It's more or less pointless as far as I'm concerned. But now we seem to have reached a little bit of a lull in activity despite what's going on in the west. We can take a look at eco-wise. Well, Sandwich, as you'd expect, being in possession of 2 bases, well out in front, 124 mass per tick for him, and of course it drops down to 110, but fluctuating around that kind of area. Second place seems to be, at first glance, the Cool Gamer, so looking pretty good for Team 2. He's on 97. 88 there for Heaven, that's Team 1. And Chosen's on 72. Everybody else lulling behind significantly. 50, 42, and 39. But that is representative of where we're at in terms of skill level. Take a look. One of the higher eco players in this one are the higher rated players. Sparky's getting a little bit above their station, perhaps, rolling straight up to a bunch of hoplites. Generally doesn't end too well for them. Sparky in name and nature, but if only personality did more damage, they would probably be faring better. Alabaster trying to get a T2 shield gen just a little bit further forward. Wants to make some kind of impact on this mini line of Cerberus turrets here. We'll actually be able to get that operational. Alabaster's ACU eating most of the point defense fire there. He's going to go and throw down some triads on the wrecks of the old ones, getting that all-important 50% bonus to construction cost and time. Now it's the Cerberus turrets that are under pressure, and in fact Cabal just control K's them and hoovers up the mass. Doesn't want to waste any time and energy trying to hold on to that position. Instead, he's more than likely to drop back onto the plateau there and start again. A few units of T1 rolling in from Sandwich in single file. His attention definitely elsewhere. They're going to get mowed down by point defense fire as they roll forward, but Alabaster looking pretty comfortable in this one so far. Chosen busy ecoing hard, and he's got T3 land up and running, starting to work on the Harbingers. Over in the east, the Cool Gamers under sustained Viper attack from Surrey. Hoplites at the ready as well, slightly to the east. We've got a lot of triads on the ground, but only one TMD. Certainly could do with building some more of those buzzkills to counter that incoming missile fire. A little bit of a point defense creep in the middle from the Cool Gamer, just with a couple of engineers. Build 3 of those in the center. He's not plowing any more resources into that for the moment though, but lots of ASFs massing down here for Sandwich. How does that compare with air up here? Well, we do have T3 online. Heaven getting an upgrade on his comm first, and then working at the same time in tandem on some T3 power. And now that upgrade is about to complete, he feels he can start working on some air power. But slightly behind Sandwich, as you'd expect. Of course, Sandwich, as we just mentioned, on 2 bases. 16 minutes gone in this one. Take a very quick look at the reclaim figures. 13,000 there for Sandwich. Heaven on 5,000. The Cool Gamer on 11,000. Chosen on 12,000. Alabaster on 10. Cabal on 10. Surrey on 6,800, and Nyson no longer relevant in this one. So relatively even. I'd say a modest, very slight advantage for Team 2 perhaps. A couple of attack missile launchers online, and another one completes as well. Missiles prepping as we speak. So Chosen getting ready to unleash some attack missiles, and that's been spotted there by Sandwich. He just flew over with his ASFs, announcing it in team chat, reminding his teammates to get some tactical missile defense. I'm surprised with the amount of units that Surrey had over here. They try to make a more concerted effort to break this position. There's still only one buzzkill in the area. If he could take that down, the mobile missile launchers would have done the rest for him if he'd have focused on their production. But instead, he's dropped back slightly. The Cool Gamer causing some problems on the ground with a bunch of pillars. Found another group of units slightly to the left. And I look across to the minimap. It's TAC missiles away, and they've spotted Myson's comm in the center as we expected they would. Even though he's underwater, the AoE will take care of that. Myson won't really have any major impact on the game. Down he goes. Now, Sandwich on 184 before everything goes pop. Has he transferred the units over to him? Well, one of the mechs he didn't, and that drops him down by 10 mass per tick, but it's not catastrophic. In fact, a couple of them. There was this other one further forward as well, but that's easy to rectify. So Sandwich not losing out too badly to that, and always nice to see, of course, that meaning that full share is off. No fairies have to die today, chaps. We can celebrate the knowledge they will all make it to bedtime safe and sound. Chosen actually disgruntled about no, saying, is full share on? No, it is not. Definitely not. It was nice work from Cabal. Always nice to see good use of vocab between the FAF players. But now we're starting to see some strap bobbers on the field coming out for Sandwich. It's definitely that stage in the game where you could put it to good use if you use it quickly. We've got 3 of them on the field now, saving up for something major perhaps, but it would provoke an ASF response from Heaven, who is definitely light on air power when you compare it to Sandwich. However, those 2 groups of ASFs splitting up and coming around for what looks to be like a general scout of Team 2's base, and I can't believe they didn't have radar coverage on that, but the strap bombers have been caught napping. Not great air protection from Sandwich, who loses those strats that were sitting by the side of the river and allows most of those ASFs to get out. I can't believe it. So nice little strike from Heaven. Not a great pickup from Sandwich there. Take a look at what they can actually see. Well, he's having some power problems, so if it's him that's producing the intel, that's going to give him intermittent signals. You see the radar signals popping in and out of coverage there. So once again, the Vipers massing on the plateau now against the Cool Gamer, and the TMD has been destroyed, so now the other defenses are ripe for the plucking, but a large group of TAC missiles on the way back, going straight after Suri's comm. So a lovely little TAC missile snipe on the side there, prepped by the Cool Gamer. 5 TAC missile launchers, that's where he's been plowing all of his efforts. And that just strips a player out from Team 1, and of course all of that eco will now have to be reclaimed and re-established. Looks like Heaven is the first to get there. He's going to be the main benefactor of that. But suddenly things looking pretty good for Team 2 out of nowhere, out of losing a player in the first few minutes of the game. Cool Gamer now will be free to expand up that right-hand side. Meanwhile, a little bit of a confluence of units now between Alabaster and Cabal over in the west. All T1 pretty much there from Alabaster, with the exception of a Flapjack. Compare that to 3 Rhinos in play for Cabal, which are doing pretty good work here at thinning out this group of units. It's going to be another little attack that's going to come to nothing, especially with a large platoon of Rhinos just waiting to the east. Not going to use those to pounce. Probably more concerned about the advance of Chosen in the center. Meanwhile, down on the right-hand side of the map, we've got a whole bunch of Harbingers and the odd Redeemer there as well, causing problems for the Strat Bombers there from Sandwich, which was trying to counter these units belonging to Chosen. One of the Redeemers is down. Nice work from Sandwich. You can really see the huge amounts of Alpha Strike damage that the Redeemers do. Just 3 rounds, 3 or 4 rounds seems to be enough to take down the strats one at a time. Stray too close to it. I'd try and keep you alive if you can by not bringing you into the field of fire. That's not ideal. Down goes another strat. But the last Harbinger is taken care of, leaving just 1 Redeemer behind enemy line. But that was such a nice snipe there from the Cool Gamer. Not great scouting, perhaps, on behalf of Team 1. See that coming. Suri saying, messed up. Seen those TMS, so he did see it, but took his eye off the proverbial ball. But now we have a wave of pillars belonging to the Cool Gamer. They've made their way up the eastern edge of the map. They're going to run into a bunch of build capacity belonging to Chosen. Just trying to go about their stuff, trying to get that mechs online, but Chosen's going to dispatch a couple of Harbingers down there. Also getting a T1 PD hastily thrown together there by Heaven. Should be enough on the ground to stall this. There are quite a lot of pillars there, though. 2 T1 PDs now in operation. And now a T2 PD slightly further back and a new side base with shield coverage to boot there for Heaven. It's going to surely be enough to stall that little push by the Cool Gamer. Last couple of pillars, not going to stand any chance there. So nice little bit of defense from Team 1. Strat Bomber brought in as well from Sandwich, but gets 1 bomb away. That impacts on the shield. Now ASF's called back to base there for Heaven. Surprised not dispatched to go after it. In fact, it's right there. It's unprotected. Free Strat Bomber kill. Sandwich bringing his ACU out now to reclaim those mexes that were destroyed in that last push from Chosen. Still hasn't managed to grab and retain control of the 2 out front. That is the way of it. Now we've got some Percivals on the field. Always nice to see TAC missile launchers in the center, loaded with quite a few missiles. Chosen not going after anything at the moment. I'm guessing that's probably what's gone on at the front line down here. He's probably been using that to keep expansion out front from Sandwich in check. Fat Boy online, rolling towards Chosen's front there from the Cool Gamer. We got a waypoint on there. We can see he's going to stop just shy of Sandwich's old forward position. Heaven distributing SCUs by the sounds of things. Donating Rambo comms over there. We can see straight into Chosen's coffers. Nice little fire base being set up here, and the Cool Gamer had such success with TAC missiles in the last encounter. He's going for a similar setup here. I'm guessing that's going to struggle to pass that mountain. Will it? Tell a lie. Fly straight over the top, and it's going for Chosen's resourcing options, but TMD in place. A couple of volcanoes going to disrupt those missiles. SCU named Paul there, just going about his day. Could do with using those to throw up some more TMDs. By the look of that group of tactical missile launchers on the ridge there. That boy in range, just picking off a few units as they come forward there for Chosen. I'll take this chance to take another look at Eco. We'll watch these TAC missiles as they come in first, homing in on that fat boy. Take the shield down to around 2.5k. A couple of more TAC missiles, 3 or so, would have been enough to take that out in one go, I'm pretty sure. But this forward position under pressure now for the Cool Gamer. Yes, he's got lots of T2 PD, but it's always tough going up against support commanders, especially with reinforcing Serenities over here. More than enough firepower to dismantle that. Shield coverage blinks back on, but it's not going to be enough to save it. These Rambo presets equipped with overcharge and everything make short work of that. So going back to the eco side of things, and Sandwich isn't actually out in front anymore. It's actually Heaven who has utilized the remnants of Suri's old base, so both on 2 bases now. He's on 328, Sandwich is on 302, Cool Gamer is on 200, but Chosen, who yeah, he's out front, he's nicely developed, is on 300, so doing phenomenally well there. No, he's not. He was reclaiming age-old bug coming into effect, or age-old issue, I should say, feature rather than bug. Did see, think that was a little bit strange. Fat boy from the Cool Gamer, though, pummeling the front line of Chosen. Chosen was trying to get a GC online. You can see in the background there, but all the build capacity around it has been slaughtered next to that relentless artillery fire. And the GC will not stand any chance of being completed as the extraction site is destroyed. Another Percival push from the Cool Gamer, who's really taking it to Team 1 right now. Serenities aren't going to fare up brilliantly as the Cool Gamer splits his force and takes 4 of the Percys north to tackle them. They're all going to go down. Harbinger's coming in from the east, but another group of Percys shadowing them. And the last production structure is destroyed up front. Just that T3 mechs, which is likely to succumb to Percival fire soon. Percival and or Fatboy fire. Down it goes. Large air battle kicks off over in the west, and Sandwich retains air dominance as he seems to have had for most of this game. Always seemingly way ahead in ASF numbers to his mirror on the other side of the map. Lots of T3 units down here, but they're all loyalists, so Cabal not switching up to bricks as yet. We do have a Monkey Lord inbound. I believe that was spotted by Heaven. You can see in allied chat there, enemy has Spider, so they're aware of the danger. But that Fat Boy has now crossed the river and is threatening potentially the front of Chosen's base. We've got 3 T3 land factories up front, which Chosen will be desperate to hang on to. I think he's going to be able to manage it. We do have a Harbinger and those SCUs we saw before trying to chase that Fat Boy down. A Percival, sorry, no, a support commander Rambo preset from the Cool Gamer will intercept that Harbinger. Well, I have enough to weather this little storm. Here comes a transport laden with build capacity belonging to the Cool Gamer. Wants to reclaim as much as he can of Chosen's forward base. Needs to get on it quickly if he's going to get any of it, because those engineers are not going to last long. Only 2 of them left, and then there was one. SCU doing The Canis River can-cans. He tries to stay alive and dodge that Percival fire. Much harder to dodge the old Fat Boy artillery, though. Somehow he's managing it. 5,000 hit points remain. But a lot of pressure now from Team 2. 2,000 hit points. He's got to be reaching max range of that Fat Boy soon, surely. 600 hit points, 500. Lovely little bits of micro here from Chosen, keeping that support commander alive. I don't believe it. He's managed to escape, at least for the moment. And the Fat Boy could be in danger of getting vaporized by a GC. That picks up the SCU kill there from the Cool Gamer. And is now looking to chase down the Fat Boy. Plenty of hit points remaining on the GC. A couple of strap bombers flying over the top, but seemingly they managed to drop their bombs. Coming in from the wrong angle there. Another air engagement kicks off over the top of these units. Again, that's going to go much better for Team 2, sandwiched with superior numbers, but the GC will claim the Fat Boy's life. Down it goes, and 64,000 hit points remain on Chosen's GCs. This time, the Strats managed to get their bombs away, taking a good 10,000 HP off that Colossus, but not a lot on the ground to deal with that GC. Chosen beelining straight for the base. I think that could be an error. He's concerned, I guess, about the air power. 50,000 hit points remain. Heaven is sacrificing what units he has to try and deal with the strap bombers. Meanwhile, though, the Spiders have torn a hole in the front line of Alabaster's forward base, but it's not enough. Look at the amount of Ravengers they've got further back. We've got a Fat Boy in operation here, so rather a calamitous attack there from Cabal, who, while managing to take out, I guess, a good chunk of the front line, but what? Cabal drops out of the game, I'm guessing out of disgust. What a shame. There he goes. So Team 2 reduced to just 2 members. Lose yet another player to an unnecessary exit. Fates really are against them in this one.
Strategic launch detected.
But they've managed to get a nuke out. Question is, where is it heading? Can we see a nuke ping? Well, there it is. And I can also see a strategic missile defense that has an anti-nuke missile loaded, so that nuke will be wasted. Poor scouting, I guess, from Team 2. Could have gone to much better use over on this side of things, but there it goes, gets shot down. Lots of build capacity around that anti-nuke now. Heaven won't be resting until he's got at least 1 or 2 more anti-nukes in play. Nice little Harbinger push, though, creeping up from the river from Sandwich. Here comes a Spectre from Chosen. It's going to start tickling one of the Harbingers to death, slowly but surely. Those Harbingers breaching the main base of Alabaster now. Starts slaughtering the build capacity that was working on a Fat Boy. In comes a support commander from the east belonging to Heaven. That's an engineer preset, no overcharge on board, so not going to see any sudden end to these Harbingers. And that's going to be a tough loss there for Alabaster, who loses a T3 power plant. Still has a healthy power production though, so that doesn't bottleneck him on what he's currently building. Another Fat Boy online for the Cool Gamer, sitting at the river crossing to the south, just lobbing its artillery shells at some poor unsuspecting support commander sitting in the river. But this is a problem now for Team 2. Just as the Cool Gamer made good gains up the eastern edge of the map after he took out Surrey, now we're seeing a push from Alabaster coming down the opposite side. Large group of Percivals and a Fat Boy in play, and I'm liking what I'm seeing with the T3 anti-air, mobile anti-air. Certainly going to need lots of that, being as all of the air control sitting with Team 2 predominantly. However, actually a lot of ASFs. Heaven's doing a fantastic job at trying to keep up with his mirror. Let's just have a look at ASF numbers. 115 ASFs accumulated at the back there for Team 1. How does that compare with Team 2? Well, 126, so really not a huge amount in it anymore. Strap bombers massing here for Sandwich, who's going to want to chuck those in against the Fat Boy ASAP, I would suggest. A Tsar under construction there from Sandwich. Bold moves. He's felt pretty good about where he's been sitting for most of the game with the air power, so he figures if I have air control, or I believe I have air control, why not make use of it? Build myself a donut, and the worst that can happen is it's gonna get blown out of the sky and land on half of their base. Two strategic missile defense online now that I can see. One for Chosen, one for Heaven. Chosen soon to get a missile of his own loaded, so yet more protection against the nuke. Sandwich still working on picking up those mexes that were lost with the destruction, or the departure, shall I say, of their other teammate. That really has been tough for Team 2. Sandwich has been doing an excellent job holding this all together. Don't forget, of course, nice snipe on the eastern edge of the map from the Cool Gamers. Kept this game interesting. Were it not for that, this may well have been a very dull affair. And those two support commanders, certainly one of them, Paul, 8 kills to his name, come under sustained Percy attack. Chosen recognizes the danger and moves him inside the shield. That shield collapses immediately thanks to the huge quantity of Percivals. He dips inside another, but it won't be enough. Down he goes finally. Poor old Paul. Forward SCUs there from the Cool Gamer. Immediately start working on an air cleaner thanks to the horde of gunships in the area. But ASFs brought in by Sandwich to deal with those gunships will get embroiled in an enormous air conflict, which seems to go, or be going, a lot better for Heaven right now. Strap bombers roll into the mix right in the middle of it. They're going to get vaporized. I can't believe it, but air dominance finally slides into Team 1. That donut sent immediately out to the west to deal with the units massing down here for Alabaster. That Tsar starts incinerating everything. Definitely wants to pick up the Fat Boy, and he's noticed the danger. It's going to go right over the top. Shield depleted almost instantly, but look out. That donut has a very limited shelf life as Heaven dispatches his Air Force to intercept. In come the ASFs from Sandwich. this even the tables once again. A lot of anti-aircraft fire, of course, on the Tsar. So that's going to go some way to rebalancing that air fight. Tsar does get shot down, but it's taken out everything of value down here, and it has tipped the scale. So once again, the advantage that was gained there in the air for Team 1 disappears as promptly as it arrived. And we're at an impasse in the air game once again. But another GC chasing down Fat Boys in the center. This time there are two fatties. And that GC is shedding hit points down to 6,000, 5,000, 2,000, 1,000. Down it goes. The Fat Boys survive. But oh dear, Alabaster built a Novax. Novax, of course, significantly better than it used to be, with that much wider range of vision and fire. Not sure if they up the damage or not. Perhaps some kindly hard copy guy could place in the comments section below if they change that. Another Tsar under construction down here from Sandwich. Likes his donuts, apparently. Another support commander goes pop. Takes a huge amount of the HP away from the surviving Percivals that were attacking it with its destruction. Another GC rolling in from Chosen. Doesn't really want to try and chase down those two Fat Boys, although insufficient intel, or certainly power issues, will cause intel outages for Team 2, mean that GC has gained some free yardage on those Fat Boys. Could be invaluable in the grand scheme, although two of them, it's an awful lot of artillery fire to be walking headlong into, and Chosen agrees he is going to back off that pursuit. Nothing to be gained there, it would seem. Another air engagement over the river. Seems these are now becoming routine and not really offering either side any major advantage. It will just about go better for Team 2. But you look at the mass field, though. The amount of mass that is there to be reclaimed in the center. If anyone could survive long enough to do so, I do think a few SCUs could be brought forward from Team 2 and make the most of that. Harbingers, though, down here, recycling that Tsar wreck. They're going to get brutalized by a bunch of Percivals coming in from Alabaster, but they'll get at least 50% of it. Almost worth just backing up off that and trying to hold on to those Harbingers for a little bit longer, but it's built or rebuilt another Tsar pretty quickly. That just about to dip into 75% complete. That continual air
strategic
battle
launch detected
rages overhead. Novax sitting above the extended base of Sandwich now, who's just fired a nuke, and this time that is going straight over towards that front line where the first one should have gone, really. Alabaster out of the area, so he doesn't have anything to worry about from that point of view. And now, of course, there is an anti-nuke in play. That had a missile loaded. That shoots down the nuke with relative ease. Now we're seeing some strap bombers on the field from heaven, those Sinithas, and they're going to target the Fat Boys, which have managed to make ground once again. ASF's brought in to prevent those strats from getting another pass. Should manage to do that without any difficulty. Counter-attack once again from heaven. And those Fat Boys not liking what they're seeing from the two experimentals that are closing them down, are going to dip back into the river. Both of their shields depleted. They do manage to
Strategic
scout
launch
the
detected.
GC, which is great work. Can dip under the water just in time, but the nuke that has just been launched, I can see the ping is up here, and they're going after Alabaster's comm. There isn't an anti-nuke loaded in that. Up here, what have we got? It's going to be threading the needle if they're going to manage it. You can see the line there, and it's just going to pass up the top. Alabaster has not moved his commander, and this will be a phenomenal pick if they can manage it. Move further to the east. No! Alabaster goes down at 45 3/4 minutes. He chucks everything over to Chosen to give him just that little bit of extra eco for a moment, but it's not going to matter. All of this is going pop, which is going to dramatically ease the pressure from the west as far as Team 2 are concerned. That Ethota is going to die in the river there, not going to be able to grab one of the Fat Boy kills. And now another counter-attack with a donut from Sandwich. A donut from Sandwich. All kinds of strange things happening today. That's going to go straight after these Harbingers on the front line from Chosen. It's going to be able to scoop up most of those kills. Sandwich running screen with his ASFs. Needs to be real careful though. Lots of Redeemers on the ground coming after this Tsar. And of course, they're also taking fire across the river from Cool Gamers to Fat Boys. And Tsar giving zero shags as it rolls in over the top and going straight after the Redeemers with that Tsar. In come the ASFs once again from Heaven, taking off huge chunks of hit points from that donut down to nothing in a matter of seconds. Heaven comfortable to trade his ASFs. He feels he can rebuild them quickly, and why the hell not when you are pulling in the amount that he is. He's reclaiming an awful lot as well. So 46,000 pulled in reclaim for Heaven. Sandwich is on 135,000. Chosen is on 174,000. He's having major power issues. What on earth is he doing? Well, he's upgrading support commanders, and there are a lot of them there. Up until now, we've mainly been seeing support commanders coming out from Heaven, but these are all Aeon ones. They're all belonging to Chosen.
Strategic launch detected.
And we'll take a look at what he's upgrading on those in a second after we have another look at where this next nuke is going. This time it's coming out of the Cool Gamers base, and it's going to Chosen's forward base. It's going to be close. I'm sure there was an SND around here. He's right there, and with 2 anti-nukes loaded, I'm skeptical that's going to impact the site which he's gone for. In fact, it won't. That launches just fine, thank you very much, and continues to protect that front line. But as those Fat Boys roll up, I really do want to take a look at what's going on here. Chosen upgrading all kinds of stuff. Lots of support commanders up. Well, I did wonder, and these support commanders, or at least 1 or 2 of them, have the teleporter on board. Another one being upgraded, so some kind of ploy is afoot here from Chosen. Question is, whatever it is, will we get a chance to enact it? That's a lot of Harbingers and 2 Fat Boys causing problems now at the front gates. We do have gunships up here, but not enough of them to cause any major problems with the enormous air force that Sandwich has stationed just behind the units up here. Take another look at numbers on ASFs, see if it can give us a clue who's going to win the next exchange. 66 ASFs on the field there for Sandwich. 114 meanwhile, sorry, for Heavens, 114 meanwhile for Sandwich. So Team 2 doing significantly better on the air stakes, and we can bring this back up to normal speed. Spectres are brought in to try and shoo those ground units away, but they're going to get slaughtered by all of that air power. Another air engagement brewing. Looks like they're going to think better of it for the moment. That is an outrageous defense battery that Chosen has up front. 4 shield gens overlapping with 12 Oblivion batteries in play. A lot of T2 point defense up here as well. So Team 1 burrowed in very effectively indeed. Chosen reclaiming that second Zarek. Might not hold on to it for long though. A lot of Percivals on the ground coming in from the east from the Cool Gamer. Chosen also hurriedly building as many Ethotas as he can. Astonishingly still, the rest of that Zarek intact over here. That's probably what Sandwich is going after with that airdrop and build capacity going out towards that plateau. In comes Strats going after the Fat Boys. Sandwich immediately prioritizes those with his ASFs, but he has to be careful. Doesn't want to lose his advantage in the air game. So switches up to the opposing fighters, can deal with them and then go back to the Strats, which is what he's doing. Another bomb away. That's going to impact on the shield of the Fat Boy. Fat Boy still with plenty of hit points on board and now in range of Chosen's forward base. 2 shields down, a third down. And now that lovely, attractive looking fire base is under pressure. However, Cool Gamer needs to not take his eye off the ball as Harbingers are brought in. Shields about to go down on that lead Fat Boy. Spy planes going out over the top for Chosen. Could we be about to see whatever he's been planning? Well, there we go. He's teleporting. We're going to have to slow it down. We're going to have to go to split screen because there's too much going on and it's all important. Keep an eye on the main base down here. We can see where they're teleporting. They're coming in the back in behind a Duke, which is under construction there for the Cool Gamer. Meanwhile, on the left, the Fat Boy is getting obliterated by those Harbingers. They immediately start construction at the back of Team 2's base of a Colossus. And they've got the sacrificial upgrade on the... Oh my god! We can ignore what's going on at the front of Team 1's base because Chosen just insta-built a GC at the back of Team 2's base. He teleported support commanders in with the sacrificial upgrade, sacrificing the unit for the GC and insta-built it. And now the power grid of Sandwich is under attack. Heaven can't believe it. That is an outrageous play. I'm so excited right now. I can't actually tell you. Chosen, I hate people teleporting into people's base, but if you're gonna do it, that's so much sexier than a Mazecom. It's unreal. Oh my god, Mercy's brought in to try and counter him. It's gonna take so long to chew through the 100,000 hit points on board that GC, which has just wiped out 4 or 5 T3 P-Gens and a whole bunch of those T3 air factories, which have been causing Team 1 so many headaches over the last half an hour. That GC still eating Mercy, still with 56,000 hit points on board, still going, still wreaking absolute havoc. Oh my god. We'll take that back up to regular speed. Another P-Gen goes down and another air plant too. Unbelievable. Down go 2 or 3 more for good measure. And what has that done to Sandwich's power grid? Well, he's gone from 36 something K he was at a moment ago down to 14. So all of the exchanges we've been seeing where he's constantly been getting back on top of Heaven in the air game, fight after fight, well, that's likely no longer to be the case. He's lost pretty much the best part of his air production. He's got a lot of air factories still, but he won't have the power to facilitate that kind of construction at that pace once again. In comes a very badly damaged Ethota, trying to locate an ACU if he can. That is outrageous play. I love it. Again, another argument if people started doing that all the time in these longer games for and teleport inhibitor, but you know what? Kudos, Chosen. That was incredible. Down goes the Ethota thanks to some combined power from the Fat Boy and the Strap Bombers there. Still lots of ground-based power in the center belonging to Team 2. In comes Strats going after the resourcing option over in the east there from Heaven. Down goes a T3 mechs. 3 strats required for that, or 3 strat bombs I should say. But wow, just unreal. I've never seen anyone do that in however many casts I've done, 300, 400 casts, whatever it is. Never seen anyone go after someone's base like that. Lovely stuff. Why walk a GC in the front door when you can just materialize the back of their base? So much more efficient. Just disgusting play. And this is a bit of a mistake here from the Cool Gamer. He's going too far forward with his Fat Boy. He's got Ethota coming from the northwest and the southwest simultaneously from his position. An army of Sparkies brought in to try and deal with it. They're going to quick build some T1 PD, but the Ethota is going to stroll out of range of that pretty quickly, and down goes the Fat Boy. So a little bit of control yielded to Team 2 in the center here. Look at Heaven, who's now grabbed that side base. He is looking deadly right now. It would be the same kind of situation there for Sandwich, but Chosen's play has utterly wrecked him. Meanwhile, a Starlifter with SCU on board, making its way out to the edge of the map. We'll see where he's going with that. Well, the unload icon, he's going to try and off-map it a little bit and get it as deep up here as possible. Wants to go for his own cheeky little play here, but that will surely be spotted. Couple of ASFs dispatched, and then he sends a larger task force as he recognizes the danger. It's going to be close. Needs to drop it down now. Doesn't make it. Sometimes they survive the drop if it's made its descent already, but that's not going to be the case there. SCU dies in the ensuing blast. GC's stomping their stuff now in the middle. I'm just a little bit concerned as to the ground power, what's left for Team 2. Sandwich's only concern right now is trying to rebuild his economy. He needs to think a little bit more laterally and be concerned about the threat that could be coming on the ground. Chosen has been churning out experimentals for the last 30 minutes or more.
Strategic launch detected.
Another T3 mechs bombarded by Heaven and his strap bombers. And another one goes down as well. Finally, Sandwich responds and takes those down, but that nuke that's been launched by Sandwich going after the easternmost edge, it would seem, trying to keep it out of range of the SMD. Well, he's done his homework well. It's not going to get shot down, but I don't think it's going to do a huge amount of damage either. Takes down pretty much just one T3 PGen and one T3 factory. Team 1 won't be too concerned about that. That will be an acceptable loss to a nuke. Forward Percival's under gunship attack now there from Chosen. Brings those Spectres in. Sandwich is going to dispatch his Air Force And I wouldn't be surprised now if Heaven is now ahead of him in ASF numbers. 196 now for Heaven, sorry, and 245 for Sandwich. So not yet. Could be the case after one more large engagement, but the Cool Gamer is about to lose yet another Fat Boy to Chosen, who is marching in the front door with 4 experimentals, 2 GCs, 2 Ethotas. And this does not look good for Team 2 at all. Cool Gamer with one Fat Boy to the east of the base. But they're not the greatest things to use to defend when you're facing something like this coming in your front door into your own base. Not ideal.
Strategic launch detected.
Another nuke away. This time you can see it going off in the background there from the Cool Gamer. Ravagers opening up to the east, going after the eastern GC. The Ethota still alive. That nuke going after the center.
Strategic launch detected.
It would seem of Team 1's base. Another nuke out. That's going to be used for close fire support. But have they managed to take down the SMD? How on earth they've done that, I do not know. And that nuke is going to get through and tear a ruddy great hole in Team 1's base. Heaven loses a massive chunk in the center there. That nuke does land and take down 2 of the experimentals. The other GC still taking a lot of Ravager fire in the center there, as well as now Restorer fire. But look out, massive air engagement brewing as Heaven dispatches his ASFs to go after the Restorers. First of all, they need to counter Team 2's ability to deal with the stream of experimentals coming in from Chosen that will hand air dominance or air superiority back comfortably, of course, over to Team 2, but they're just not too worried about that. And importantly, this latest attack has once again more or less destroyed everything in Sandwich's base. He's left to just this group of buildings down here, and I'm guessing it was probably a Duke that managed to take out the SMD. Percival's meanwhile coming into the main base from the Cool Gamer. The GC will start hoovering that up though, sucking in those Percys. In they go. Power Grid the primary target of those Percivals, but they're not going to get anything done, especially not coming in single file there. I liked what I saw, the T1 PDs that were placed there from Sandwich. Didn't want to see any more of those teleporting SCUs, thank you very much. Wanted to protect that Duke. That must be what happened. The Duke, I'm guessing, took out the SMD, and that allowed them to sneak the nuke through. What a game, though, as we approach the 1 hour mark, the mark of epicosity. Another experimental from Chosen, who's just churning them out. Cool Gamer's ACU sitting right next to it. It's going to get a cheeky reclaim on. Start sapping some of the HP from that experimental. It's trying to make its way around the edge of the Cool Gamer's base and approach from the other side. Heaven concerned about the lack of air power, reminding Chosen that that might not be a viable option. He's going after another Tsar there. I think Chosen should just stick with the ground experimental spam. It's certainly working pretty well for him now as he brings an Ethota in, trying to chase down Sandwich's ACU. not going to manage it. Too many Ravagers in the Cool Gamer's base, but the Ion Storm could cause more problems. A whole bunch of other structures going up as it crashes. Surely that fusion reactor will go up. There it goes. Yet another T3 power plant down for Team 2. Cool Gamer drops to just 9.2k power. Still enough for what he needs at the moment, though. Strap bombers for Heaven out harassing Cool Gamer's forward base. Goodness me, what an absolute murder fest this game has been. I can't usually stand games where people drop out, and for one team to have 2 dropouts in one go, that's usually would be a no-no for me, but I see what everyone's been going on about in this one. Sandwich and the Cool Gamer have done excellent work staying in this. Can't believe that play. I'm telling you, if Zoc is still doing his best plays of the month, top 5 plays of the month series, that should be in it. That was sickness personified. If you were to look up definition of awesome plays in the Urban Dictionary, there would be a picture of Chosen's Colossus and his enormous wang looking very manly at the back of Sandwich's base. Broadsword's trying to tackle the Ascendants now. Not usually a great matchup if you can avoid it, but he's doing everything he can to keep those alive so he can put them to work on that Colossus. Heaven not even attempting any air production now, as that nuke has dismantled his ability to produce air. So for the moment, massive air advantage for Team 2. They must capitalize. If they're to stay in this, they're to get anything done, they must capitalize. They need air to ground power, mass broadsword production. You can see what Sandwich is going for. Of course, he's very, very badly damaged as well. His base in absolute tatters. And still has these experimentals from Chosen to worry about. Another GC coming in the western approach now and threatening to unleash yet more devastation upon Sandwich space that has been the site of so much carnage over the course of the last hour. Down goes another Mex. Just aren't enough broadswords to take these down comfortably as that GC rolls into range of yet more of Sandwich's main structures. As the shield collapses, structures underneath become vulnerable, and down goes the first of many, I'm sure. It switches up towards the power plants, and down they go in an almighty chain reaction. Sandwich down to 13k generated power. Down goes another, taking him down to 10. GC is in range of the Ravagers and is getting mercy sniped, but still manages to claim yet another power plant, down to 5.4k power generation. It's more than what he needs because he doesn't have the ability to produce very much at all, so he can't capitalize on the massive air advantage he's got. He can't get producing gunships or strap bombers in any massive way. What he can do is he can shoot down this massive Tsar that is inbound. Are they not actually seeing that? Well, there's no excuse for that. It's plain to see. He's concerned, I guess, about the Redeemers, but he's going to be able to shoot that down in one pass. He can get in and get out, and he's not even dispatching them. I'm thinking this is a case of Sopcom head in its truest form right now. Quick rank of veterans. He saves the donut for just a little bit longer, but down it lands and takes out a whole load of Ravagers, yet more defenses lie in ruin for Team 2. It lands, in fact, on top of Sandwich's ACU, taking a massive chunk of HP from it. 7,500 hit points remain. Cool Gamer's trying to complete a Colossus. Very nearly done on that, but I don't know what he's going to be able to do with it. Ethota in the west succumbs to broadsword pressure. Another explosion makes me think I've missed a snipe, but no, that's just a support commander going critical in the center there. And I think we can afford to knock this back to +2. And it's such a shame Team 2 haven't got the facilities to be able to capitalize on their air power. Little TAC missile battery up on the ridge here I hadn't seen. That must be what took out the support commander over here. Another volley of TAC missiles away, this time heading slightly further north, going after Chosen's ACU, I guess. I'm sure he'll see those incoming though and move them. You would hope so. Snipe attempt, it's going to be close. Chosen still not moving, and he's not going after it at all. Massive disappointment as it simply goes after the aircraft carrier, wanting to hold on to that air advantage, but I guess didn't have a read on the ACU after all. Thought that was where he was going with it. Alas, not. But we do have T3 Arty online for Team 1, going after the few power plants that Team 2 has left. Where is that T3 Arty coming from? Well, there it is. One heavy artillery installation, heavily defended as well, I might add. This is now going to be nigh on impossible for Team 2 to come back from. 1 hour and 5 minutes gone in this one so far. I think it's going to be more or less a question of how long can they hold on for as a support commander rolls into the forward base of Cool Gamers there. One triad, all they have to try and counter that, as the TAC missile batteries that took out Suri so many minutes ago finally get killed off with 12 TAC missiles in there. Should have probably been reclaimed a long time ago. Boom, baby! Down goes yet another power gen. Cool Gamer says, well played. He's pretty certain this game is over. And the horde of experimentals and harbingers that are rolling their way would suggest that he's right. A little bit of ground fire, trying to deal with the support commander. Rambo preset, which is making his way out of the water there. Finally, they manage it. Fat Boy rolling into the east and the south from Cool Gamer. Shield blinks back online, but that is going to be easy pickings for these experimentals there. Chosen scalping yet another Fat Boy. I'm wondering how many he's managed. Cool Gamer completes a teleport. Is that what the personal shield gen looks like nowadays? Can't say I love it. But there we go. Sandwich, targeted by the GCs, manages to make it into the water. But a little bit of ground fire won't be enough to keep the Cool Gamer alive.
Strategic launch detected.
Or will be enough to kill the Cool Gamer, I should say. Nuke out from heaven at the back, but that won't make any difference. Sandwich is going to get ground fired as well. Phenomenal job from Chosen and Heaven, but also kudos to Team 2. Kudos to Sandwich and the Cool Gamer for staying in that one as long as they did. 1 hour, 8 minutes, 20 seconds. We love our epics. That was a very entertaining game. More of that and more outrageously queer strategies like that, please, guys. That was phenomenal. I'm still jazzing about that Colossus insta-build at the back of Team 2's base. Absolutely beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I certainly did. There's always more to come from me in the future. But in the meantime, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.